Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Season 3, Episode 9 of Peacock's House of Villains, titled Requiem for a Supervillain. Last week on House of Villains, Kate chose Christine as her third nominee, Tyson saved himself, and a tie vote left Kate as the decider between Tom and Christine. Before I dive in, I put links below to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing and watching along on Peacock. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. Final please. Christine's is light and silly. Tom's is a teary-eyed, polite ask to be kept. Kate has to make her decision, telling Christine she's very intelligent and telling Tom that he's trying his best, but her bare minimum beats his best and she's sending him home. Tom vows to us he won't vote for Kate in the end. So we lose Tom, who I really only know from trailers. I found him endearing there, but here, not so much. I think it was the bromance with Tyson that I found so unsettling and blood-curdling. Every scene between the two of them was cringe. I'm happy they weren't the final two. I don't know about you all, but I am Tom'd out. I can't think of where he'll pop up next, but why am I also positive it'll be Dancing with the Stars? This elimination should have been at the end of last week's episode. It was so predictable. Were we supposed to be thinking about this all week? I had other stuff going on. Players return to the house. Kate tells the group it would have been impossible for her to keep Tom. New York is pissed and mourning Tom. She blames Paul for controlling things against her side, so she calls Paul a lying bitch, whose words are not worth repeating. Paul tells us they're playing up the villainry as the season goes on, and that's what we can expect. New York is very upset. Tyson consoles her as Drita affirms Paul inside. Tyson and New York, a very unlikely duo. Tyson goes to sleep by himself in the superbed, watching Tom's videos to gain peace, while Paul, Christine, Kate, and Drita cheers to their final four alliance. The next day, Drita tells Christine that she's gonna be a cranky fucking bitch today. She's missing her daughter Giselle's high school graduation to be there, but she's happy to FaceTime with her. It tickles me that she calls her daughter Jiz for short. Players are given skimpy 80s workout gear for their challenge. Drita is way too cranky for this. Christine tells us she's hoping to not suck ass in a challenge for once, as they get to what New York calls an enchanted forest. They turn on black lights to show that they all have really unfunny words written on them for no reason. That is so unfunny, none of them laugh, none of us laugh, and Joel is embarrassed. Players will crawl through the foam, suck venom from their snake into their mouths, and spit venom in the other player's tube. When your tube is full, you're eliminated from the game. The last player standing will be Supervillain of the Week. Joel also tells them there will only be 2 nominees this week, no reward or redemption challenge, just nominations and a vote. Before they get started, Tyson and New York try to get Christine to work with them, and Tyson threatens Paul, which goes over about as well as any threat would go over. They get started with Tyson coming at the speed of light against Kate. Everybody besides New York are coming against Tyson, so Tyson is eliminated first by everyone, followed by Kate and New York. It comes down to Drita, Paul, and Christine. With Drita having an empty tube, Christine decides she wants to even it out between the 3 of them to give them all a fair chance, and she spits what Joel calls a load into Drita's tube, with Paul joining her to even it out. Drita is getting pissed off that they spit load after load into her tube. Paul is eliminated, but Drita is so pissed that her allies didn't just let her win on Jiz's graduation day. In the end, Christine eliminates Drita and wins Supervillain this week. Drita, her roommate, is disgusted that she was ganged up on. They head back to the house where Drita clearly changes and goes right into confessional, where she says she's going ballistic. Tyson is feeling petty, wanting to bring the whole house down on his way out. He calls Paul out for being fake and spitting in Tyson's cup, breaking their promise, but Paul doesn't care, and no promise was made anyway. New York graciously accepts to Christine that she'll likely be the nominee next to Tyson. Paul and Tyson have a little fight in the yard about Tyson threatening Paul. Paul tells Tyson that he threatened Paul for no reason and did this to himself. Kate thinks it's hilarious that Tyson, who has a podcast about strategy, is getting beat by a bunch of girls who have no clue what they're doing. Paul tells Christine about Tyson's threats. They're rallied against Tyson, and they approach Drita to apologize, but Drita is still pissed. Christine thinks they were just friends playing games after Tyson and New York lost, but Drita doesn't see it that way. Kate, Christine, and Paul agree that Drita is upset about missing Jiz's event, and they try to figure out how to make Drita like them again. Kate is relating to Drita's point of view from the challenge. As Kate tries to explain why Drita's upset, Christine becomes annoyed with Kate. Christine tells Paul that Kate is trying to turn them all against each other, and says Kate is cating, which is basically creating drama for no reason. Christine arranges an alliance meeting where Drita is not understanding why they came for her in the challenge. Drita explains, I got no water in my cup, which means I'm supervillain. Suddenly my cup was going up and up and up. I was being fucking tag teamed. I don't like being tag teamed. This becomes an alliance fight with Tyson overseeing, Christine dismisses both Tyson and Kate, who is confused about her dismissal. Drita tells Paul and Christine she's gonna show them how gangsta she becomes. Naughty Tyson again turns up the thermostat. Last time he did that, he cooked Ashley to near death. Drita wakes disturbed by the heat, being on 80 fucking 5. In the morning, Tyson appeals to Drita, still being mad about losing the challenge, agreeing that she should have won. He also campaigns to Christine, telling her she should keep him off the hit list and nominate someone who would beat Christine in a jury vote. Drita tells Kate she will always be annoyed about that challenge, no matter what anyone says. Players head to the stronghold for hit list nominations. Christine has a little purse that is the supervillain chair. That's nice. Christine decides to nominate Kate, who says she likes she can stand there in her dress. Kate says it's fair because she nominated Christine last round, and Christine nominates Tyson for being dishonest, which does make Drita feel good. Tyson is obviously understanding of his fate as he saw this coming the second they explained the rules of the load challenge. Joel gives them 30 minutes to strategize before the vote, with Paul, I guess, the swing vote. Kate and Christine have an awkward conversation that leaves Kate telling us she can't tell if Christine is stupid or smart. She guesses it's both. Tyson asks for Paul's vote. They agree that Kate may be a bigger threat to win in the end than Tyson. Christine has now convinced Drita that Kate somehow caused the drama about the challenge, so now they're back to being unified, but not trusting Kate. Players head back to the stronghold for the banishment ceremony. In final pleas, Kate says that Tyson had alliances with everyone, and she's pissed everyone off, so she's a better person for them to keep. Drita pipes up that Tyson needs to sing like a canary. Tyson's campaign is that Kate has eliminated all the threats and played the best game up to this point. So they get to voting, and in the end, it's revealed that by a unanimous vote, Tyson is eliminated. Even New York voted for Tyson, telling us that Kate never nominated New York, and she's paying it back with her vote. So we lose Tyson here, who's by far the best player on the cast, not just by strategy, but by playing production. In the beginning, he was calling the producers shots left and right, pulling the lever, knowing he would get something good, which helped him to build basically an army of the strong players. For a while, he was running the house, and it felt like it would be a steamroll, but he got unlucky with Ashley's removal and the notebook situation, and honestly, Kate ended him fair and square, single-handedly knocking out his entire alliance. This challenge this episode was fun to watch, but it really screwed him over. If it was a solo challenge, he probably would have won his safety, and he knew that too. I'd love to see Tyson on Traitors next eventually. I'm not sure if I want it immediately, but I'd like it. We're heading into the finale, a final 5 of Christine, New York, Drita, Paul, and Kate, and honestly, anyone can win except Christine. I just can't see her winning a jury vote over any two of the others. New York has been to a finale before. She's at least tied her placement from last season, and she's played a good measured game so far. Can New York do what it takes to get to final 3 and get the votes to win? I'm not sure. Paul has been playing up the villainousness, especially the last few episodes, and has worked with most of the cast game-wise along the way, but I feel like this cast is gonna just vote for their friends and who they care for, and Paul's villainousness may come back to bite them. Kate has played the best game of the season. If she makes it to the end, she deserves to win based on strategy, but my frontrunner has to be Drita. Drita's been shown to be consistently giving pity votes to eliminated players. She's been real the whole time. She's also the only person that really has told us time and time again what their motivations are and what they'll do with the money, so I just feel like we've been watching the story of Drita winning from the beginning. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Tom and Tyson's eliminations and your predictions for the finale. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week to recap the finale. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.